In today's creativity flow, we're going to be starting in a comfortable seated position. We are going to be spending some time on our hands and knees. So if you don't have a mat and you're on a harder surface, maybe grab a towel or a blanket or something. A mat is not necessary, but a little something to give a little cushion for your knees would be ideal. So if you don't have that, grab those, and when you are ready, we will find our way to our mats or our spaces and find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like to you. In just a few moments, we're going to move to our hands and knees, but we're going to take just a couple of moments to start to come into the breath, find our center, come into the bodies, let go of everything that's kind of happened thus far today or that you have to do today, and just focus on being in the here and the now. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Your hands can be wherever is comfortable. Maybe that's at the side or resting on your knees. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Today we're going to be working on another aspect of creativity that I feel like sometimes gets overlooked. So I focus a lot on the sacral chakra, our creativity center. But there's another chakra that can impact our creative output, and that is the throat chakra, and that can benefit or block communication. So if the throat chakra is out of whack or blocked, it can impact how we communicate. And in order to be a great creator, you have to be a great communicator, right? So we're going to spend a little time today working on releasing and opening up that throat chakra, that line of communication, so those ideas that are inside of us can make it out into the world. And even if you're not a creator, being able to communicate effectively is a really, really great skill. And if you feel like that skill is blocked or stifled in some way, it can definitely be a hindrance. So sorry, I hope you were continuing to breathe through that. So we'll take one more big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we're going to make our way to our hands and knees to start off our practice today. Start out the movement part of our practice. We've already started practicing, right? Simply by coming into the breath and the body. So we're going to make sure, come to all fours, tabletop position. Bring our wrists stacked directly underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, and spread all 10 fingers, pressing into the fingers, particularly the first finger and the thumb, to take some pressure off the wrists, because we are going to be here for just a few minutes. If your wrists do start to get a little sore, you can always make a fist and press that fist into the earth to give a little relief to your wrists. So we're just going to start to move through cat-cow. So we're going to inhale to drop the belly, lift the chin, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lift that tailbone up toward the sky, but almost like you're trying to lift it toward the head, toward the back of your head. So you're trying to make the back of your head and your tailbone meet. And we're inhaling, and then we'll exhale to drop the chin to the chest, bring the shoulders up to the ears, round the back, pulling the belly button back toward the spine, almost up toward the sky, pressing into all 10 fingers, like you're trying to push yourself away from the mat, pressing in the tops of the feet. And then inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, drop the belly. And we'll start to move through that flow at your own pace with your own breath. You can pause if any of these poses feel better. Maybe this rounded back feels really good if you've been sitting. And Inhale, lift the chin. If my cues don't match with your breath, just keep going at your own pace. If you're paused in one, that's okay. Just listen to your body, listen to your breath. If your hands or wrists start to hurt, again, you can come up to fists. And after a few moments of cat-cow, a few rounds, if you'd like, you can start to kind of go the opposite direction. Actually, not the opposite, but you knock those hips over to the right of the mat and then tilt the head almost like you're trying to make your head and your hip meet, giving a nice curve on that right side of the body. Do it on the left so you can see it a little better. And then knocking the hips to the left, stretching the ear kind of toward that left hip to invite a nice curve over on the left side of the body. Then you can almost tick-tock kind of here back and forth. Not that tick-tock. If that movement feels good, you can do that. You can keep moving in traditional cat-cow if that felt really good and you need a little more time in that. You can start to even around your hips. So we're not going to be doing a lot of movement in this practice today. It's more particular poses that can help loosen things up. So if you want to get your movement in here, feel free to do that and just find movement that feels good. If you're not there, let's just start to come back into a traditional cat-cow. Maybe do a couple more rounds here. If you've kind of gotten out of alignment, make sure you're still adjusting to be in alignment. And wherever you are, maybe finish out your round, even out your breath. And we'll come back to a neutral tabletop. Well, actually, for this next part, go ahead and just drop the heels to the top of the feet, and we're gonna sit up here. So I'm gonna just adjust so I'm in frame. Kind of come to a diagonal so you can see me a little bit, but we're just going to rest the heels on the back of the feet and just come to a nice still strong posture, head over heart, heart over pelvis. You can tuck your toes if that feels comfortable to you, but this can get pretty intense if you're not used to sitting like this, so maybe you even try it for a little bit, sitting with your toes tucked under you, up on the heels. Again, can get really intense. So feel free to try it and then drop back onto the tops of your feet as you need to. So here we're going to practice lion's breath, which if you've never done it before, can feel a little strange. If you're not alone in the house, it might surprise some people in the house with you. Don't let that be a deterrent. So I will kind of demonstrate it and we can practice it together. So on an inhale, you just take a deep, deep, deep inhale through the nose. Then on the exhale, you're actually gonna open your mouth wide and let the tongue hang out as far as you can. And on the exhale, you're really gonna let out a loud, audible exhale. So it's in through the nose and out through the mouth, almost like you're roaring like a lion. So I know it can feel a little silly. If anybody's in the house with you, they might not know what's going on, but let's try it together. So we're still sitting in a nice strong stance, head over heart, heart over pelvis, shoulders away from the ears. We're not hunched again. So we're still mindful of our posture and stance. We'll inhale through the nose and let it out. In through the nose and out. One more time, in through the nose. Fill up, fill up. And exhale. Emptying out, keep going till you don't have anything else left. There you go. And that is lion's breath. It is a great way to help kind of open up that sacral chakra, or not the sacral, sorry, the throat chakra. And it is probably just a good way to get over being nervous if you have any reservations about speaking or you feel stifled in your communication. That's a great way to just get over any embarrassment about that, right? So we're here, we're still seated. We're gonna just work on some neck stretches. I'll face you a little bit here. Just some neck stretches to, again, loosen up this area throughout the neck and open up the lines of communication. So again, our shoulders are down away from our ears. And maybe we're just start out by dropping the right ear toward the right shoulder. I'm really feeling the stretch through the left side of the neck, almost even down through that shoulder. I feel it kind of all the way even down into my shoulder blades. So you can actively pull that left shoulder away from that left ear as we're pulling the right ear toward the right shoulder. But don't do it so much that it hurts. If it starts to hurt, just kind of come back and find your edge. We're just breathing here. And then we'll inhale, bring the head back to center. And exhale, drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Same thing, actively pulling that right shoulder down away from the right ear. You might even feel it. Feel that stretch all the way down through the right shoulder blade. And each side might feel a little different. If you feel your whole body starting to go with your head, actively come back up into that head over heart, heart over pelvis. And then we'll come back to center. And actually, as you come back to center, maybe just start rolling the neck. Mine always crinkles and cracks a little when I do this, so we're just gonna make really wide circles with the nose. Oh, there, right there, I always feel a little pop. So if you're feeling anything like crinkling or crackling, it's okay. But again, any pain, just kind of stop what you're doing or make smaller circles until it feels challenging but not painful. And then maybe reverse your circle, going the other direction. So yoga doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement from flowing quickly from one pose to the next. There's lots of different ways to practice yoga and lots of different aspects of it that can help you, your life, and your creative practice. So maybe we'll start making smaller and smaller circles with the nose. If you'd like to reverse your circle again, go ahead and do that. So if you're, focused on this movement, if you're breathing, even if your mind keeps wandering, but you keep bringing it back to this moment, you're practicing yoga, even though we're not, in Warrior 1 or Warrior 2 or Down Dog, you're still practicing yoga. So maybe do any other neck movements here that feel good. Actually, maybe let's look up, lifting the chin, just look up toward the sky. And then drop the chin toward the chest, feeling that stretch the back of the neck. And then anything else that feels good, maybe looking over that right shoulder, looking over that left shoulder. And if you are at a desk a lot, over an easel, over a notebook, over paper, or anything where you're over your phone, where your head is down a lot, these stretches are great to loosen up your neck and that if you're in that position a lot, it could lead to that blocked throat chakra. So from here, we're gonna end on kind of the same way we started, with a little cat-cow, but we're going to do it right from the seated position. So just a different way, a different perspective. Get a little more of this movement that's great for the spine and the throat and the whole body. So we're gonna inhale, lift the chin, pull the shoulders open, kind of like you're trying to pull them together. Lifting the chin, putting a curve in that back. You're still kind of lifting the tailbone up toward the head. Might feel a little different just because you're seated. And then exhale, round the back, drop the chin to the chest. Bring your shoulder blades up toward the ear, or your shoulders up toward the ears. Almost like you're trying to come into a little ball. And then inhale, lift the chin, open the shoulders, open through the chest, lift the tailbone, and exhale, round. Moving with your own breath. We'll do a couple more rounds of this. Your hands will kind of just pull naturally with your shoulders, so let them just go wherever feels best. You can even kind of work this, combine this with lion's breath. So maybe on the exhale, dropping that tongue, sticking out the tongue, and audibly letting that sigh release. Run more around wherever you are, with lion's breath or without, whatever feels best for you. And come back, straightening out, come back to your center. I'm gonna straighten on my mat here. And we're just gonna come down into child's pose. We're gonna lean forward, bringing the chest toward the knees. The hands can come to our sides, dropping the forehead to the mat. And we'll just rest here. Maybe rocking the head back and forth, pressing the forehead into the mat, giving a little forehead massage. Take a deep breath in and sigh everything out. And you can rest here for as long as you'd like, 5 to 8 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, whatever feels good. Or you can lay out in a traditional Shavasana, or you can take the creative energy that we just hopefully opened up a little bit in that practice and head to your creative project and get to work. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste, warriors. Now go fight for your creativity.
Great flow, warriors. Now it's time to take that energy and create. If you still need a little extra inspiration, just grab a creativity prompt to get the ideas flowing. And if you have a friend who's also fighting writer's block, make sure to share this video and don't forget to subscribe. Now go fight for your creativity.